A story about three characters. They are friends, and the story starts with how Zoe, she wanted to become famous on the internet, and Debbie, she took the advantage and manipulate Zoe into her trap. The story is actually it's based on desire, so throughout the film you can see that the three characters, they have different desires.
So basically my initial thought on script writing was that it would be really simple and straightforward, just to describe whatever was going on in the story, but I learned that I could not have been more wrong about that. When we first started writing, we realized how many details were missing, and we realized how much we had to brainstorm to, complete the story and fix plot holes. We had to have so many meetings after meetings, just to discuss how we could better out our story.
And on top of that, we didn't have a solid backup story yet at the time. So basically all we had was just a brief story of oh, this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened. So Joe and I basically had to think of what happens in between. We had to think of the details, we had to write in the details, and we had to think whether the details would fit or not. So yeah, Joe and I, we spent a lot of time trying to solidify the story, to make the story more better, more solid in a way.
She has a lot of different emotions throughout the whole film. For example, the desire when she wants to become famous, the happiness and excitement when her dream finally comes true, the struggle and pain caused by the red mark on her leg, and lastly, the selfishness when she decided to pass the karma to someone else. I feel quite bad for her because obviously she's an antagonist and she obviously did very bad things in the film. But if you actually put yourself in her shoes and look at things from her perspective, you would actually understand why she did all of these things and how she became like this, why she became like this.
Jorman in the film is actually a very short-tempered, very carefree, and also very indecisive. He is struggling to actually decide on whether he should help Debbie to push on the curse to Zoe or to actually protect Zoe.
My favorite scene is probably where I was laying on the bed and having a video call with Zoe and Jorman, because I didn't really have to act much. It's a very natural thing. It's like having a very normal video call session with your friends. I really like that part, and I also get to eat snacks also, yeah.
I would say it's a very, very enjoyable experience for me because I get to act, which is pretty exciting for me because I have never really acted in a film no longer than 10 minutes.
We never shoot together with all members on the set before, but we still managed to find a way to work together and get to complete our final year project.
I have nearly about full 5 pages of notes that I jotted down every time after each scene is done shooting. Talents and our production team members stay up late to 3 to 4 a.m. every day just to upload and also check all the footages whether we have to reshoot or not.
This is my first time shooting without my team together due to the CMCO. Also, I only have a camera and a tripod. Yeah, that's all I got. For the cry scene, I legit end up spending more than 1 hour just to cry, and I even search on YouTube how to cry.
One of the main challenges is having to shoot in 3 different states, having a shoot in Malacca, having a shoot in Ipoh, and also having a shoot in Selangor, in 3 different locations as well, and also in very, very tight schedule, which is for me actually a big challenge because some ideas were actually hard to be voiced out.
Figuring out how to use the equipments, the lighting and the cameras, because it's my first time and I'm not familiar with this kind of equipment, so I basically had to do a lot of research to actually know how to utilize this equipment to produce a good short film.
Due to CMCO, right, we can't travel to anywhere, so the only way we could do is to shoot it separately. But when it comes to the visualization, right, you need to combine all the clips together, so we need to ensure that the connections, whether they are make sense or not.
I would say it's the CMCO thing, because previously it wasn't CMCO, it's RMCO, so it was kind of loose, the regulation, so we could still travel to each other's house. So we planned the whole thing, then it was announced for CMCO now. We couldn't proceed our shooting, so we actually have to rewrite the whole story again and then plan the whole shoot again.
Yeah, it was a really stressful time, especially with the time frame that was given. We had only a time frame of a few days, and we actually wrote our first draft in 3 days, 35 pages in 3 days. And yeah, it was quite difficult, especially with the time frame. I would say it was a big challenge for us.
To me, I would say the whole production at this situation is a challenge, because most of the scenes are in Malacca, so if I were to request for a reshoot, it's nearly impossible.
Because everything is done separately, so I also have to keep track with their shooting time. If we shoot together, I can just take all the pictures like the wardrobe, props and set design. There are 3 people who are shooting, so I have to ask them to send all the documents to me, and sometimes I get confused because there's quite a lot.
But to be honest, I think Joe and I did quite a decent job, I would say. I wouldn't say we did a bad job. I mean, considering it's our first time ever writing a full-on script, and also considering that we had such little time to do this, so we basically spent 2 days completing the whole script.
I learned a lot about how to use the camera and also the lighting, and my teammates also give guidance to me, so I really learned a lot during the process of the short film.
Honestly, it's how amazing the whole team working together. We are working individually in each other's house because we cannot travel, but the whole thing still turned out quite well lah. So it's amazing.
What I've learned during this production is to get familiar with all those equipments. I also have learned to plan our shots in advance and avoid the collecting hours of useless footage.
To me, the best part I've learned through this final year project is definitely the editing part, because frankly speaking, this is something that we all are first time doing it, and especially working separately. It's definitely a good lesson to experience.
来 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh my god, I can't believe it really works.
Hi. Say hi from Malacca. Say hi from Malacca.
Yay! It's a wrap for today, day 2 shooting.
Thank you to everyone in Momento Production who have worked really hard to make things a little bit better. Thank you very much.